If a buff dude loses his mind, would you say that he has bats in the barbell free? Happy Monday, my friends. Welcome to the stream. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend, and thank you for being here with me tonight. I hope you're all doing very well. We've got Chozo Brain is first in chat tonight and asks, "What do I win?" To which I reply, eternal glory, as long as the VOD lasts. Enjoy it, my friend. Loyal to Soil is close behind. Welcome in, Loyal. I hope you're doing wonderful today. And Lucent Jelly is here as well. You've got a can of soup. I don't even know where that's from, Jelly. That's just something well, one of my friends told me about once upon a time. There's this thing Jelly and I say to each other, and it's from one of my friends told me about it. I've never actually heard it, but apparently it was like an imitation of a parody of a NASCAR commercial or a monster truck commercial or something like that. But there was one line, it said, this weekend only, bring a can of soup and you've got a free, you've got a can of soup. And just, something about that line has always stuck with me. And again, I've never heard the original. I just heard my friend's impression of it. So, this is now like a third-hand impression. Also, speaking of Jelly, if you don't know, my friends, Jelly creates her own retro gaming content. She's got a YouTube channel. She doesn't post super often, but when she does, it's always enjoyable. About once a month, she does Let's Plays. If you like what I do on the stream, I think that you'd probably enjoy what she gets up to as well. There's the link there in chat, or if you've missed it, you can use the command Jelly to pull it up again. She just put out another installment of her Mega Man 5 series at the end of last week. And I know she'd really appreciate if you are so inclined to take the time to give it a look-see. And a little birdie has told me as well, if you leave a bad pun in the comments, you're very likely to receive one in return. If that kind of thing interests you. A Squirtle hat. Yeah, this was a birthday gift, Chozo Braid. I got this at the beginning of the month. I haven't worn it yet. Tonight's the first night. I'm actually feeling a little warm for it, but it's so delightful that I'm gonna bear a little bit of discomfort. I actually need my basement to be colder for this hat than what it is right now, but I'm gonna endure it just because it's such a delightful hat. I sure would say that, Jelly, in response to the joke. I'm just now catching up. I win getting to backseated Dark Souls, Chozo Brain says. 1, no. And 2, why would you want that? The playthrough is infinitely better, the less I know. The worse I play, the better the playthrough is. Why would you ever want to sabotage it? Jelly says, if you want to see dumb mistakes, check out my Let's Play. I don't know if that's the best way to sell it, Jelly, because I can't imagine anyone watches this stream and doesn't get their fill of dumb mistakes. But if you don't, check out Jelly's Let's Plays. You'll see I don't have a monopoly on them. Fair enough, Chozo. You did indeed. Welcome back, Loyal. Night's going pretty well. I've got a bit of an upset stomach. I turned off the wheel tonight. There's no Wheel of Scorching tonight. My stomach is pretty upset. I don't want to add any more, I don't want to add anything else to it. So, we're going to take a break from that tonight, just a heads up. Should be active again tomorrow, though. Welcome in, Zelda Dude. Squirtle, indeed, yes. I was just saying, this hat, I got this for my birthday at the beginning of the month. And I'm just now finally getting around to wearing it. I'm going to wear it for part of the stream, at least tonight. It's a bit warm. It's a bit warmer than than is comfortable for me at the moment. So I may have to swap it out for one of my less toasty hats. Hey BBQ, welcome in. Great to see you. I hope you've been doing well, my friend. It's been a while, but I'm certainly glad to have you here anytime you can stop in. I'm looking forward to the second playthrough of Dark Souls, where you blitz through the game and discover more stuff. I think we may do a second playthrough. It's, again, like, I don't want to get your hopes up that it's going to happen anytime soon, because it's definitely not going to happen right after the first playthrough, but I would be intrigued to do a second one. As for finding more stuff, I don't know. I don't know. I've been on a pretty good pace of discovery lately. Good to see you. Thank you, BBQ. How long's the Battletoads first playthrough been going on? A very long time. I think now I don't play it every day. I play it a couple times a week. We started at the very end of December. And I've been playing... It crashed. I'm not even playing and it crashed. Why? Why the random crash? What did I do, Battletoads? Look at what it's doing to me. Alright, let me turn that noise off for a moment. Alright, I'll go wiggle the cartridge here in just a moment. But yeah, I've been playing it for quite a while, BBQ. I've gotten pretty reliable at the first 10 stages. I can clear them. I can usually clear the first 10 stages. I can usually do it in 1 credit. I'm probably jinxing myself for tonight's runs. But usually I can clear the first 10 stages in a single credit. But I get to stage 11, the Klinger Winger, and I'm just immediately destroyed. Just immediately ruined. I bleed away all my lives so quickly. And because Kirby's Dream Land 2 turned me into such a stubborn monster that I now play everything super blind and refuse to ever do any research or learn anything. Because I've become this monster. I'm really struggling. Kirby's Dream Land 2 has some really silly stuff. If you don't know, my friends, the infamous Kirby's Dream Land 2 playthrough that I refer to all the time, the playthrough that made me the madman that I am. BBQ was one of the excellent people keeping me company while I lost my mind that night. Struggling. How did Kirby hurt you? Welcome in, Itty. I made a determination. I went into Kirby's Dream Land 2 I was expecting the game to be a pushover. I was like, yeah, we'll play this. We'll probably be done in an hour or two. It won't be any big deal. 9 hours later, I'm 3 hours deep into brute forcing an 18-room pick-a-path. I'm drawing pages and pages of charts as I just systematically work my way through every possible combination of the hundreds of doors. Oh, Kirby's Dream Land 2. I didn't know what to expect from a Kirby game. I know what to expect now. It's pure horror all the way through. But the ending is, but achieving that ending is so satisfying. It's definitely worth the pain. But you might not feel the same unless you've also become crazy in the same way. Yeah. Yeah, I only found out about a year afterward. I only found out about a year afterward that the game tells you the solution. Kirby is super easy, Zelda dude says. No, it's not. If you're just playing to credits, Kirby's a pretty moderately difficult game. If you're just playing to credits, Kirby games are pretty moderately difficult. If you're going for the true ending, Kirby games will ruin you. I mean, you may be an elite gamer whose skills I will never be able to match, so your mileage may vary, but speaking as a very average person, it's just doors all the way down, Itty says. That sounds about right. Hey, Derek, welcome in. Great to have you here. I hope you're doing well, my friend. 100%'s another story. That goes for any Nintendo game. Yeah, and technically I don't think, I didn't even 100%. I've never 100%ed a Kirby game because they have a bunch of like secret objectives. I kind of think you have to look up how to 100% Kirby games, so I never quite do that, but I go for the true ending. Definitely. I did do Kirby's Dream Land 3. The Rob the Robot stage is comes to mind as particularly brutal. And there was at least one other one that gave me a real headache. It's slipping my mind right now. But we did Kirby's Dream Land 3. But yeah, I've never actually officially 100% at a Kirby game, but I try to go for the true ending every time. If the 100% ending is different from what I'm calling the true ending, then apologies, I don't know cuz I've never done it. Well, But I try to get all the collectibles and see like the what I think is the real final boss. But I know that like Kirby games have like secret objectives that involve like beating the bosses like without taking damage or clearing mini games or something like that. I don't really know what the details are. What did Itty say? That's okay. I recently brute forced a password crack in a game, then found out you were supposed to just find the password leaked. That's essentially what I did, Itty. I'm glad to know I'm in good company. Yoshi's Island on SNES is another nightmare to 100%. Yeah, we did that one on the stream. That's one of the few games I actually 100%ed when I was young. I didn't often go for 100% as a kid, but I did Yoshi's Island, and then when we played it on the stream, I did it again, and I had forgotten. I don't know how I could ever forget how difficult that journey was, but I had forgotten the brutality of Yoshi's Island. Battletoads. We haven't started yet, Derek. The game, I turned it on. We were chin wagging a bit, and the game crashed. So I need to get over there and fix it. Thank you, Itty. Itty says, "Squirtle hat is great, by the way." Thank you. This was a birthday gift earlier this month. Jelly gave this to me, and I'm finally getting around to wearing it. Loyal says, "What did everyone have for dinner tonight?" I had a really nice deep dish cheese pizza. Right on. I don't often have deep dish pizzas, but one of the best pizzas I did ever have was a deep dish. Long ago, I still remember it. But I just had ramen tonight, Loyal. Nothing super exciting. And probably wasn't the best move, given the aforementioned upset stomach. Right now I'm playing through La Mulana. It has some of the most brutal puzzles I've ever seen. I haven't heard of that game. Hopefully it's at least fun and interesting enough to compensate for the brutality, unless that's what you signed up for in particular. Derek says I had White Castle. I don't think I've ever eaten White Castle. My diet consists mostly of cereal and yogurt, Zelda Dude says, so it's cereal for dinner. Not bad. We go that route sometimes. Made fried rice for my girlfriend and I. Pretty happy with how it turned out, BBQ says. Right on. I really enjoy fried rice. Jelly likes it even more than I do. Usually I enjoy fried rice, but I'd rather make just like a stir fry and pour it over top of rice myself. But always very good. White Castle is classic. I could easily do 10 of those mini burgers with cheese and mayo, Loyal says. You lost me at mayo, Loyal. Spaghetti and meatballs, Chozo Brain says, about to make dinner. All right, let me get this game fixed. I'll be right back with you, my friends. I've got to hurry up and beat Battletoads before my cartridge falls apart and stops working forever. BBQ says I'd hugely recommend it. La Mulana. very fun retro-style ruins exploration game full of riddles and traps on Steam. Sadly, you kind of lost me at Steam, since I'm a Mr. Console guy with the bad PC. Oh, it looks like it's an older game though. Apparently it's on the Wii. Or the PlayStation Vita. It does work on Linux though, also. Well, maybe I'll be lucky enough to track a copy of it down. Very weird collection of platforms for a game to be on. Given your reaction, Zelda dude, I think I would avoid White Castle personally. Mortal Shell is on Switch too, as well as Ashen if you're looking for more decent Souls-like games, Zelda says. Then, of course, I think you'd love Hollow Knight too. We did Hollow Knight. I didn't 100% finish it. I'm going to start pressing some buttons here. We'll finally start playing the game a little bit. We'll keep chatting, but I got the first ending in Hollow Knight, and I did a bit beyond that. I still have... I think we got all the slugs. I still have Colosseum level 3 is left unfinished. And there's like a sky dimension with 1,000 boss rushes in it. That's when I kind of stopped playing the game. Ideally, I'd like to go back and finish at least some of that stuff up. But I don't know when I'm going to get around to it. It looks like a kind of project I'll have to work for years and years to finish up. But who knows? Maybe after we go back and, maybe after we, attack the Cuphead DLC, I'll feel, ready for more Hollow Knight. I'm already losing lives. I won't reset if I lose one life on stage 1, but I will reset if I lose another. Which is very likely. I'm rusty. I haven't played since last week. That's my excuse. Hollow Knight's got to be one of the best games ever, BBQ says. I really like Hollow Knight. It just kind of became a lot at the end with all those boss rushes. Derek says Shovel Knight is one of the best games ever. I've played just a little bit of Shovel Knight. I haven't actually played that one through. Not to mention Hollow Knight's only $15. That's called a masterpiece for your wallet, Zelda Dude says. Hey, Mile Hyrule, welcome to Battletoads. I hope you've had a great weekend, my friend. That wasn't very smart of me. I juggled that bird right up to the despawn zone off the top of the screen. Bad job with the bird juggling tonight. Whoa. Never played Hollow Knight. Heard it's awesome, Derek says. Yeah, I really like it because I really like that it's a Metroid-style game, but it doesn't have experience or leveling system. It's like Super Metroid, where your progression is from findable items. And, you know, just building raw skill. I need more Metroid-style games like that in my life. I disagree. I disagree. I was going for that bird to have him cut my line like that. Oh, I'm really upset. Hollow Knight? Hollow Knight's on basically everything. I do believe. I played it on the Switch, personally. Always down for a Metroidvania, Derek says. Yeah, no bird juggling one-ups for me. You are right, you are, Buddha Fingers. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well, my friend. La Mulana is exactly like that. Oh, you're really selling me on it now, BBQ. Yeah, I've always preferred that, like Zelda style, Super Metroid style character progression, where it's handled through specific findable items as a reward for exploration, and rather than a reward for grinding. That that just speaks to me a lot more. There is a logic. There is a logic to games that have a experience and leveling system. You know, like, it does make sense, like, in universe, that your character would get better at fighting through repeatedly, you know, through repeated combat. So, like, I can't really say that style of progression, like, it's not to say that style is necessarily bad. It's just not my preference. And I'll certainly tolerate a game that has it. That has that kind of thing built in, but it's yeah, it's not what I go out of my way for. I got to play Hollow Knight Silk Song early. It was so awesome, Zelda Dude says. Then I woke up. Sparrow, welcome in, my friend. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Nice hat, thank you. Thank you. This hat seems to be quite popular tonight. I'm glad I finally put it on. Whoa. Can't stay long, just trying to finish up a task before bed. Well, I appreciate you stopping in nonetheless. Best of luck with the task you're working on, Buddha Fingers. Roast chicken and rice. Nice. Same, I really like that kind of thing, BBQ says. I like to think the player also gets better at combat through repetition. Yes, yes. So you don't need the game to reinforce that necessarily through level ups. You're speaking my language. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Have you played Tunic? No, I haven't, Zelda Dude. It's a love letter to Zelda. I think you'll love it. I've seen a little bit of just like the like a couple screenshots and the promotional art. I do think I would like it. I think I'll probably have to play it at some point. Who knows when that will be, though. Like Final Fantasy, yeah, the RPG style of character progression is less interesting to me. Boat Ladder, welcome in. Happy Monday, my friend. Hope your week's getting off to a wonderful start. Wasn't sure if it was a beanie or a cap with a very short shade front. It's a beanie. My glasses kind of bend it out like a cap. They have that effect on beanies of a certain length. I have a handful of other beanies that I've never worn on the stream, mostly because despite them being advertised as adult size, they're not quite, they weren't quite designed for my colossal noggin. So, I'm hoping to have, I'm hoping at some point to have Jelly get around to maybe altering them for me. No. Is Battletoads the hardest game ever? Some parts of it certainly seem to be. That's kind of a difficult thing to say, right? Especially since I haven't finished the game. Whatever the hardest game ever, kind of depends on the person, though, and it kind of depends on your interests a lot, too. Right? Because... You know, like, the hardest game ever, like, it would be a lot harder for me to 100% like a Madden game, right? Than, pretty much any platformer, no matter how difficult or even terrible it may be. I'm not, and in no way am I saying that Battletoads is terrible. But because I lack the, I lack the interest in that series and genre, it would be super difficult for me to 100% just because, like, I wouldn't have the motivation to do it. Assuming I'm right that to 100% one of those games, like, you'd have to complete a campaign as, like, every team. And, like, I don't know, max out every player or whatever you do. I don't even really know what 100% in those games looks like, but I'm imagining that it could, at least for me, be quite terrible. I like those RPGs a lot, Derek says. Yeah, they know. I'm not saying they're, I'm not saying that, that they're bad, but I am saying that I don't really think they're for me. Always thought Ghosts and Goblins was one of the hardest games ever. I would definitely agree. But it's also fantastic. 100% a Madden game, please. I do have a handful of, like, sport ball games in my collection. So, I figure each of them should at least get a night somewhere along the line. It'll be either incredibly amusing, well, it may be both, incredibly amusing and incredibly frustrating. To watch someone try and play a sports game without knowing the sport. Please don't, Derek says. Sports games are not real games unless it has Mario in the title, or it's NFL Blitz, Elder Dude says. I don't know that we can really get away with saying that. Like, some of the earliest games are, some of the earliest video games are sports games, right? I've watched you play a lot of junk. Like, a lot, but I draw the line at sports titles, Budafinger says. I don't know, you might be missing out. We played that wrestling game one night. That wasn't disastrously awful. Play a baseball game. Let's really drive home that sports games are like watching paint dry, Sparrow says. Only sports game I touch is WWE and racing, I guess, Derek says. Madden is my most played franchise ever, Mile Hyrule says. I say 70% of my gaming are sports games. They clearly speak to a lot of people. Sports games. They're tremendous sellers, so. They might not speak to me, but I can't deny their power. And I did play a fair amount of a Tecmo Bowl back in the day, and Blades of Steel on the NES. So, you know, I've gotten absorbed by a sports game here or there. Blades of Steel more than Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl, I never really understood what I was doing. I just played it because it was a game I had. Blades of Steel, I comprehended quite a bit better. I'd rather watch you play through the machine than watch sports titles, Budafinger says. And that's very fortunate for me. I mean, let's not go crazy here. I said, you know, we'd probably spend, assuming the stream lasts for years upon years upon years, we'll probably spend a night with a sports title here or there somewhere down the line. I'm not gonna do like an oops all sports marathon or anything like that. Unless they're like, you know, unless we do sort of zany sports games like Mega Man Soccer or something like that. We have 0 replay value. It's why the bargain bin is absolutely lined with sports titles. I don't know that it's that they lack in replay value so much as they are made obsolete by their successors, right? Because you could certainly play them again and again and again until the next one comes out, if that kind of thing is your thing. But I mean, don't Call of Duty games kind of do the same thing too? Taking a team from last to first is a fun time, Mile Hyrule says. I liked hockey on SNES. It was terrible, but I had fun, Derek says. I played that fitness boxing As Elder Dude says, Vista the North Star demo, and I was so hooked, but I played it too much, and now I'm super sore. Moderation is key, right? So I bought... This would probably be something that were better if I unleashed it on the stream as a surprise, but there's a really good chance I'll never get around to playing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and mention it. I bought a fitness plug and play. It's a giant fitness map, but it's a plug and play game. It's got like 80 games built into it. And when I say games, like some of them are games, you know, like Wii Sports type games, but a lot of them are like, they're not really games. They're like yoga and walk in place and stuff like that. So, you know, just take the number 80 needs a huge asterisk next to it. But I thought it could be fun to explore the games on it. But the thing is, it's a giant mat of a controller, and I don't really want to use the mat. So I'm wondering if I could cut the mat open and take the leads to each of the sensors and like basically glue them to like a piece of cardboard, so I can make a miniature mat, like a keyboard. So I'm basically making like a keyboard and play the games on my desk to play them on the stream. I'm thinking about doing that, or I might just have a night where I play standing up and we just use the mat, and it'll be absolute garbage. I can't really decide. I guess because I could move my camera. If I move my camera back, I could play standing up. I have almost enough room. I wouldn't be able to read the chat very well, though. I'd have to come up with a way. I'd have to think of a better way to read the chat. Maybe on my tablet. I'll build the stream on my tablet and read the chat there. Create a redeem. Take it to the mat. Master Tuesday, welcome in. Happy Tuesday, my friend. Certainly hope you're well. I'm way behind on the chat, so we're going to stand here a minute while I read. Apologies for the minimal action on screen for a minute or two here. Yeah. So Sparrow says you could argue that they have the most replay value. I don't know if we would say the most, but certainly fairly high replay value. But they do have planned obsolescence. Hey Zergling, welcome in. Great to see you as well. Sorry it took a moment to catch you there in amongst the sea of chat that I have not read. American football confuses me, Chozo Brain says. I have over 500 hours in Madden. Out of any type of games, sports games have had the most replay value, Mile High Rule says. Frownie, is this you backing down? I thought just because of our comments, you double down? I don't know what we're talking about there, Sparrow. Maybe I am. Maybe I don't know. I read that too long after I said whatever, If Frownie does sports, I'm moving to Canada. FromSoft needs to port Dark Souls 2 to the Switch so Frownie can suffer more. If any other FromSoft game comes out on the Switch, I'll buy it day one. He's going to Frankenstein it, yeah. That's the best idea I've ever heard, Monero says. And then we learned Frownie is a DDR veteran. I wish that were true, Sparrow. I wish it were. I've always been terrible. Always been terrible. Mile Higher wants to hear the pause music. Happy Tuesday to you too. Tuesday says. Doing okay today. A few gripes with whoever's making the decisions behind Spotify. But alright otherwise. Hold up, I just noticed the chili sauce redeem is done. Did someone spill the hot sauce? No, Tuesday. I've got a bit of an upset stomach tonight. So, no spicy food for me at the moment. Dave Dingo, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, my friend. Hey, pleasure to have you here. How are things? What were you up to tonight? How'd your stream go? Very grateful to have you drop by and to bring your people with you. As always, we'll do our best to take good care of them. Hey, Dreamy, thank you for coming along. I hope you're doing well. Big Tall, good to see you again. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you. That's right, Gex. I saw your thumbnail right before I went live. Are you playing on the PlayStation or the N64? I have I think 2 Gex titles. I've never played them. I have them on the Nintendo 64 though, which may be the inferior way to play them. I don't know. Cows, welcome in. Thank you for the resub, Cows. Thank you, my good friend, for the 23 months of support. That number is artificial though, because you were here supporting the stream before I could even have subs. So thank you for the 23 plus months of support, Cows. That's almost a year. Thank you for the pistachios, Buddha Fingers. I will gladly have a pistachio or two while we're chatting here, or 3. Pretty good playing Gex 2. I'm a bad boy. I play on emulator. Nothing wrong with that. I've never had success yet. Well, I've yet to have success setting up like an emulation setup that I'm really satisfied with. You know, personally, so far as the feel of the games, but by all means. Game preservation is in a laughably disastrous state, so experience games by whatever means you are able. PlayStation 1. Need to replay Gex 2 and 3 sometimes, Big Tall says. Maybe I'll get retro achievements for them. Nice. Thank you for the hydrate, Zelda dude. We'll gladly do that. We call Dave Distinguished Dingo. Nice. I like it. I didn't know I was called that. Gex games are really good, Derek says. Really enjoying it. Right on. Wish the big companies cared more about game preservation. Yeah, I say that about Nintendo sometimes. It's very weird how Nintendo, like, they simultaneously love to overcharge for old games, and they hate to re-release old games. I think they're overcharging for their re-release is their way of, like, punishing us for wanting them to re-release old games. It's like we wear them down, and they're like, fine, we'll re-release it, but we're gonna charge you full price. Glad we're getting more backwards compatibility at least. That's true. I am being a little bit unfair. Nintendo has done all right with the Switch, with the NES and Game Boy and so forth collections that they put on there. Not great, but all right. It's not really their fault that they're not doing great either, though, right? Because a lot of the classic games aren't really their games. Their games are all classic, but they don't make up all of the classics. I'm seeing how we're only on level 5, 65 minutes into the stream. Yeah, we've been off to a slow start. This is run number 1, too, so. Metroid Prime is only $40 on the Switch. This is true. But still, you're not getting a lot of Nintendo titles for the prices that you can get things on Steam. Would you ever do a Final Fantasy game on stream, Hyrule asks? I plan to do some Final Fantasy games on stream. I don't know when. I own a lot of them, though, and so I figure I should, at least try. Those might be somewhat rough streams, though. If you're a real big fan of Final Fantasy, you may get annoyed at me playing them on stream, because if the game gets too talky for too long, I might start to roll my eyes a bit. So, be careful. I'll say be careful what you wish for. Start with Final Fantasy VI, Bester Tuesday says. I was kind of thinking about starting with Mystic Quest. Is this one of those games that's hard because of limited credits? That's part of it. Dave, for sure. Yeah, you get 3 continues, and the game's pretty brutally difficult. So I've seen the first few levels, a couple hundred times at this point. I've seen the mid to late levels. Late, isn't that weird? I've seen them dozens upon dozens of times. But that's alright. I don't really mind when a game has limited continues, necessarily. I like the process of repeating the game from the top and getting better and better at it. I like the I like the process of getting better at the early stages as I reveal and learn the later stages. It's a slow way to do things, but I don't know, it works for me. Especially, particularly with a game that I'm enjoying and something like, like Battletoads I'm having fun with. If the game were terrible and I was having a miserable time, I wouldn't put such a positive spin on it for sure. But the game overall is a lot of fun. There are just several parts that make me miserable. But with a game like this, that's a lot of fun and something that's good enough and challenging enough where I think I'll probably want to do like, try and do like a challenge run to get like a 1 credit clear or something like that. Then, especially in cases like that, the process is satisfying because I don't look at it as time wasted when I have to repeat, as I look at it at sort of front loading my challenge run training. How's that for a positive spin? Sorry, it is of course very difficult to look away at the moment. Oh, the last snake. Oh. Let me clear away a couple guys and I can get caught up with everybody. It's safe to stand around finally. I like a game. I like a game where it's safe to stand around for a little while. Gotta start checking my local EB Games, Tuesday says. Want to get a hard copy of the Prime Redo, right on. Also, gotta start checking Steam to see if the price of Pizza Tower has been corrected yet, Tuesday says. Way I see it, Nintendo Switch Online is going to be around for the next 20 plus years. And that list is going to just keep growing, Zelda Dude says. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know to what extent we're ever going to see, like a ton of, like Capcom and Konami titles and stuff like that. You might be right. Would have to be Final Fantasy 1 for maximum pain. Start with 6. 8 is my favorite, Derek says. 6 is a good one to start with, Tuesday says. Tuesday says Buddha Fingers would agree. Yeah, JRPGs in general really love their text. Yeah, I know. And I don't like games with low amounts of gameplay. Low gameplay and high story is not much of a game for me. Started with the SNES Lion King, so I understand the pain. I had that one too, Dave. I had the Super NES Lion King. I've never beaten it. I could make it to like the first or maybe second level of Adult Simba, I think, is the best I ever did. On a really good run, you know, I could maybe get there, but I've never seen the game all the way through. Play the Genesis version, it fixes a lot of problems. Chozo Brain, I thought you were talking about the Genesis version of Battletoads. That's how confused I was because I fell behind on the chat. I feel like I have to play the hard version. I love it. I can respect that attitude. And you call me optimistic, Cow says? Oh, big emphasis on the quotation marks. Yep, that went right past me Tuesday. May as well just watch a movie if they won't stop talking. That's kind of my attitude, Zelda dude. When a game takes away control from me to force me to watch or read something, I very quickly begin to resent the game. I always want to be in control. Final Fantasy would be like tonight, just double the text. You'd be probably reading as much text in chat as you would in Final Fantasy. Yeah. I'm the same way. Gameplay is most important thing for me. If the story actually holds my attention, it's really exceptional. Yeah, I tend to, you know, it's not to say that I hate story elements necessarily, but I want them to be. I want to be in the driver's seat. So, you know, like, when we play a Zelda game, like, I'm perfectly happy to go around and talk to every character in every town, you know, and to do it multiple times to look for, you know, flavor text and stuff like that, because it's all under my steam. I'm not being forced to sit and watch things play out and read while I have no control over what I'm doing. So it's not necessarily like the reading and the dialogue and the story. It's more an issue of the control. I don't like mandatory story sections. And you know, I appreciate a clever twist or you know, some creative writing, of course. But brevity is what I, you know, ask for. No one wants to feel like their time's being wasted, right? Never the Genesis Battletoads. That game is awful. we're gonna do that one too, Zergling. I'm doing this one first, but I'm gonna do the Genesis one. Spicy oatmeals, welcome to the stream. You are so skilled and handsome. If that's directed at me, thank you. I think it was for me, Mile Hyrule says. I like Deadly Premonition mostly for the story. Big Tall says the gameplay is horrible. My sister really likes Deadly Premonition. I don't know whether or not she would agree with you. I don't know why she likes it. I just know she does. No. Why? Why? At least it was after the 1-up. I almost died again. Whoa. No, went the wrong way. Oh, I recovered and escaped. Nice. Oh, thank goodness. Are we sure it wasn't for that rad Battletoad? The most deserving of the compliments. There's about 100 games I'd love to play right now. One good thing about taking a break from games is it makes you appreciate them, Zelda Dude says. Trying to get myself zapped. Hey, Fluxter, welcome in. Happy Monday to you, my friend. I hope you are well. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or played it, Fluxter, but there's a card game called Flux that I like quite a bit. And reading your name just now, I was reminded of it. I haven't thought of it before, but it's been a while since I played it. But it's a fun game. Battletoads is actually the best story ever. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. Even though it's hard to put together, Dark Souls has an amazing story. It's a sad, sad saga. Dark Souls for me is the story of a man and his egg. How they meet and come to depend on one another, and eventually, sadly, part ways. I feel like playing bad games makes me appreciate the good ones so much more, Big Tall says. I feel like playing bad games makes me appreciate the mediocre ones more. Yeah, even with the slow mode on, I do a terrible job at keeping up with the chat. The idea was that it would help me to I've not heard of it. Is it good? I like it quite a bit. You have the Cthulhu theme Flux. Yeah, I still haven't played it yet. I have that one too. I've got a lot of the different themed Flux decks. I feel like I like the Cthulhu one quite a bit. That's part of why Dark Souls is one of my favorites. Mostly gameplay, but it does have an awesome lore too. Hey Rafnir, welcome in. Back at it with Battletoads. Yep, started my attempts at it today. Made it to the snake pit. Hats off. Very good work. Rip Chompy. I think bad games just make me appreciate everything more. What is Cthulhu? Cthulhu is I think a monster from H.P. Lovecraft. It's the best name for a cat ever. Reflecting upon what your cat really thinks of you is probably a good way to induce existential dread. Luckily, he's still sleeping in the ocean for now. I just gotta find people into card games. It's been a long while since I've had a board game night with people in real life. Luke Sky Whiskers. That's good. I disagree. I've been playing Catan. I remember people getting into it. There's so many sets for it. Uh-oh. Guess that one was my fault. I've never played it myself. It looks a bit complicated to me. This game is so hard, I haven't gotten this far yet. I've been playing this game inspired by you, Frownie Loyal says. Goodness, this is one hard game. I'm glad you picked it up, Loyal. Hopefully you're having fun with the challenge of it. It is maddeningly difficult. But you know, after you spend time with it, you start to get, you know, better and better. And the fun factor definitely rises the more time you put into it. It's a very rewarding game. I don't want anyone to tell me anything in response to this, but I will let the people who are interested know that I have found another new area in Dark Souls. I don't know if it's going to lead to progress or if it's going to turn out to be another dead end, but it is like a new area with a new title and everything. So, we will be doing something at least in addition to wandering, if not instead of wandering, when we play Dark Souls tomorrow. If you're not up to date. But I only discovered the new area. I didn't explore it yet. So please do not tell me. I don't want to know if it's progress or a dead end. But I thought I would let you know. How many bosses have you beaten in Dark Souls? A lot. A lot. I've defeated, Ornstein and Smo, Seath the Scaleless, Fire Sage, Centipede Demon, Bed of Chaos, and the Four Kings are the big recent accomplishments. That's what I was supposed to make. I forgot. I knew there were two things I was supposed to make commands for before the next time we play Dark Souls. I'm supposed to make one about the egg, and I'm supposed to make one about the bosses, to list the bosses that we've defeated. Not that I mind you asking, I don't. It's just, people hear my answer a lot. But I was sitting here scratching, I was sitting here, you know, running my fingers through my beard and thinking, before the stream, there's a command I'm supposed to make. I don't remember what it is. And that just reminded me. No, I went the wrong way. Bosses beaten would be a great command, yeah. And I thought of it, I only thought of it last week, and then I just forgot to get around to making it. I'll probably remember by the time I get, I'll probably remember by the time I beat the game. Hey Ricky, welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Great stream to relax to and get ready for Z's. Thank you. I love to hear that. That's, you know, part of the design of the stream is to have a sort of late night comfy vibe. So it's nice to hear when we've done well. Catan is a better way to destroy friend groups than playing Monopoly, Cow says. Awesome, can't wait to see it. Thank you. Yeah, Tomb of the Giants. I didn't remember. I knew it was something about giants. I didn't remember the full title. Someone said, right, when I was exploring the catacombs, and I was getting closer and closer to finding a place I'd never been. I found a couple cool things that I never found. I found a secret bonfire that I'd missed before, and I found a couple like kind of meaningless treasures, but you know, they're secrets, so I still want to find them. But someone told me, like, as I was getting closer and closer, like, they were, like, on the edge of their seat. And I'm really lucky because I was tempted. I was tempted to back out. I was really tempted to back out and not keep exploring that area. But, like, there was a point where I was, like, when I was getting close to, like, oh, there might be something new over here. I didn't say anything. I was just keeping my cool, but my heart was racing. That shark would not give up. Look at that. When you were exploring the catacombs, I prayed to the gods that you would keep going and search Pinwheel's boss room, Joseph says. Oh, there were so many times. Because I said something about, you know, because I listed off, like, other things that I was thinking about exploring. And there were so many times that I was thinking about backing out of there and doing one of those other things that I listed off. Because that wasn't even something I'd planned to do. I just kind of went over there sort of randomly. Oh, and then even when I got... Hey, Stream Kyle, welcome in. Milestone achieved. Stream Kyle watched 3 consecutive streams this month and sparked a watch streak. Hey, thank you for that. I've never seen one of those alerts before. Definitely appreciate you consistently dropping by. Thank you for that. I know not everyone can do that, and no worries, but those who can, I certainly appreciate when you do. Saw this thing for the first time tonight. Yeah, I've never seen one of those before. I had a milestone in another stream today. It must be, maybe it's a new thing. Never seen that either, Cal says. Yeah, I wonder if it's one of those, like, you know, Twitch usually rolls out their new features to, like, you know, a small set of people first. So I wonder if you're one of the lucky chosen few this time for, like, the pilot testing. We were lucky. We were lucky once with one of those. This our stream was part of the pilot group for the follower emotes, I think. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of emotes, we may have a new one coming. I have a new animated emote that Jelly's made. It needs a little bit more work before it'll be ready to add into the set. But I think it's going to replace the close call emote. I love the idea of that emote, but it never really gets any use, and it's kind of too small to really read what's happening effectively, so I think that one's going to be retired, and a new emote will take its place that may not be super necessary, but will maybe get more use. Where's my stream streak, Cal says. Sir Rack of Lamb, good evening. Thank you for joining us. I hope your week's getting off to a great start. It's like finally getting a superpower. And it's the ability to grow nose hair slightly longer, Wheel. There are no useless superpowers. You just if you feel like your superpower is useless, you're just not thinking creatively enough. If you can grow your nose hair at will, then, like, you know, you could be a model in an infomercial. that is advertising a product to trim nose hairs. You could make literally ones of dollars. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. Nice. Keep it going. I'm on a rat stomping streak. Oh no, streak broken. Victory! No soft lock, let's go. My superpower is being in the way. It's been a good week. Was able to get everything from the game room all packed up. Nice. Gonna start repair work and painting this and next week. You don't have to share and spoil the surprise if you don't want to. But have you got your colors picked out already? You can never go wrong with a handsome shade of purple. Just a suggestion. Jillian and I need to do some painting in our house. I mean, we don't need to, but we want to do some painting in our house, maybe this summer. We don't see very eye to eye on color choice. My color choices are all quite bold. Jelly has to be the voice of reason. Or it may end up looking like we live inside of a bouncy castle. Well, the thing is, not that I even like particularly gaudy colors, but like in general, I like more muted tones and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, when we talk about painting our walls, I just lose my mind. If we went with my choices, I would probably end up hating it. I want to live in a bouncy castle, Cal says. I think it's my parents doing. My parents' home is all, when I was like in high school, they painted all the walls throughout most of the house. And, like, their living room is a bright orange color. Their kitchen, well, their kitchen's like a pale yellow. There's one room that's like a crimson red. The hallway is green. Actually, the walls of the room aren't red, now that I think about it, just the carpet. I think it's because I always like a nice, colorful background in video games. I'm always admiring like the color palettes in the backgrounds. And so I think, yeah, it'd be good to have walls that look like that. Who wouldn't want to live in a room that constantly reminded them of the Klinger Winger? Oh, hey, Inneries, thank you for the raid. Great to have you here. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for coming in. Welcome to your friends. Thank you for bringing everybody along. Let's pause a moment. We can listen to the best music in the game. Dark Warrior Son, welcome in. Thank you for coming along. Hope you're doing well. Pleasure to have you here with us. And same to you, Cyber Elf El Piso. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the follow. Very, very good of you to come on board with us. Thank you for that. Mega Man Battle Network 2. I've never played a Battle Network game. Are you enjoying it? Thanks for the shout out. It's been a minute. It's been a while. But I'm happy to have you here whenever we can. You know, we all have a lot going on. Siraka Williams says, same colors, just fresh paint. I actually have two walls that are Merlot red. Bold color choice. Lived with a foster family for a short time. One of the girls I lived with painted her entire room hot pink. Gave me a headache just looking in there. It might be a little bit difficult to live in that room. Especially if you're trying to sleep. I keep all my walls white or light gray because all my things themselves are very obnoxiously colored, Cal says. Well, at least this way, you know. You could just worry about your objects clashing with one another and not necessarily with the walls, right? I saw the Super NES just for you yesterday for your crazy color game room. I posted in the Discord. Oh boy. I wouldn't want to change this game room, right? I love these. I love the wood paneling down here. I'm very lucky to have this for my game room. Try to keep it from being Bouncy Castle, but maybe I should embrace the color cacophony, Cow says. Alright, and Henry says, beat Battle Network 1 and moved on. I've beaten them before. They have good stores, fun combat. It's a hybrid of turn-based tactics and action RPG with a bit of deck building. It sounds immensely complicated. I've seen some of the footage of the gameplay from Battle Network games, and like the moving the characters on like a grid, but like from the side. It's harder to explain than to play. Only the chain level is complicated. I do like action RPGs. Like the more active the combat is, the happier I am. So we've been playing Battletoads for a long time. I've been working on this a couple nights a week. Actually, since I think since December. That seems like that can't be right. Since January, I think since early January. I've gotten to where I can pretty reliably make it to this stage. But as you can see, I'm no good at this stage yet. I get here and I just bleed my lives away. Someday I'll get it. It can't elude me forever. Hey, we've got another raid coming in. It's almost a double raid, back to back. Angelus, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, my friend. Welcome to your friends. Very happy to have you here, of course. And tell us what you're doing, Angelus. What did you stream and how did it go? And welcome to Battletoads. Battletoads is the same as it ever was. It's just grinding my heart into a fine powder. After Battletoads tonight, we're going to take it easy and we're going to play Contra. Can't elude me forever. Game, hold my beer. Yeah, it's like, it's alright. Time is infinite. Our victory is inevitable. I heard someone say that earlier today. I think it was an old Simple Flips video. I heard him say that, and I was thinking that I'm stealing that. That fits my situation with Battletoads perfectly. I decided I was gonna focus and really try, and I did worse than ever. We knew it was coming. Thank you for the lurk entries. Thank you again for the raid. And thank you for the lurk. A lot of mechanics in a labyrinth. Was not the best designed level. The chain level. There's a GameCube remix of the first game that's a hybrid of the X Combat with a bit of deck building. That might be, so for Battle Network, that might be the way for me to get into it. And in fact, I might actually have that game. I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's called something like Command Mission, if it's the one I'm thinking of. LM Network transmission. I wasn't right. If it's Mega Man Network Transmission, I have that game. We're going to do another run of Battletoads, but we'll, just take a moment to breathe first. And we'll try it again. Probably be ruined again. Hey, another raid. Triple raid. Welcome in, X2. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. I appreciate you bringing your friends by. Very happy to have you all here. I'm a little. I just game overed in Battletoads. We're gonna try it again. I'm a little behind on the chat, so I'm catching up with that too. But please come in and make yourselves comfortable, my friends. Let us know, X2. What were you doing on stream? How'd it go for you tonight? I still got to catch up with Angelus's message. How's Battletoads going? Never mind, I see. Someday you'll see this level in your dreams or nightmares. Exactly. Henry said never finished Battletoads before. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. It's stunningly brutal. Every level is so much worse than the previous one. Played Dinosaur's Tale. How was that? It apparently is a Sega Genesis game based off of an animated movie from the 90s. It has friendly dinosaurs, like the Land Before Time series. Dinosaur's Tale. Don't think I know the movie. Dinosaur's Tale, for the most part, was fun. I could do without the flying sequences in the game. I'm terrible at flying games for the most part. The rest of the game is your typical platformer, where you jump on things to kill them. Obviously, the game was heavily influenced by Mario-type games. Sounds fairly promising. Sure thing, X2 says. Played some Mario Kart DS. Very fun. Nice. It's very hard to go wrong with a Mario Kart game, in my experience. Except that, I have to say Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube is brutally difficult. I know a lot of people love that game, and it's a lot of people's favorite. I didn't have it as a kid. I played it for the first time last year. It's so difficult. I thought I was pretty decent at Mario Kart games before that one. Mario Kart 8 taught me that I'm not very good at Mario Kart against humans. And Mario Kart Double Dash taught me I'm not very good at Mario Kart against the computer either. We did get all the gold. We did get all the gold trophies eventually, though. I did eventually earn all the golds, but it was an ugly battle. I don't think I've ever played the DS one, though. Picked up 2 DS games yesterday, Sirac of Lamb says. Lunar, Dragon Song, and Lost Magic. I've heard of Lunar. I think that's a sequel to a PlayStation. It's like an RPG series, right? Lost Magic I don't know of, though. Angela says Dinosaur's Tale was fun for the most part. You beat it. GG. Dinosaur games would make a good theme for like a mini marathon. Like a jank marathon. Be nice to just play a bunch. Could be good to just play a bunch of dinosaur games. Thank you for the GG, of course. When you kill enemies in a dinosaur's tail, they leave behind wish bubbles. If you collect enough of them, you can get your health refills, extra lives, and a weapon that you can fire at enemies. I'd love a dino marathon. I thought you might, Cows. I was kind of thinking as I said that you would second that motion. Dinos are almost as important as cows. I think so. I picked Lunar up because I recognized the name. Never played any of them. I had no idea what Lost Magic is. It was extremely underpriced, so I picked it up too. Underpriced, extremely underpriced, is the best price. That's what I like to pay for everything in my collection. I can't say that I've never picked up and thrown an enemy like that. Usually it's been bosses. It's a pretty rare maneuver, though. I don't do that with any noteworthy frequency. I haven't bought any games in quite a while. I had a problem with my debit card. My debit card expired, and then the bank mailed out a replacement, and they sent me a letter that said my replacement card was going to show up late. They said it could show up a week or two after the other one expires. Sorry for the inconvenience. And then I waited 2 weeks and it never showed up because they mailed it to the wrong address. So then I needed them to cancel that card because who knows whose hands it may have fallen into. It wasn't like they just sent it to my neighbor. They sent it to one of my old addresses, but like years out of date. So probably partially my fault. But anyway, so now they're sending me another one, but they said that now it's going to take them a month to send me the new one because apparently there's some problem with their printer. So I'm not doing any shopping. I have access to funds, right? We have Jelly's debit card. We use that for everything. But you know, juggling one card between two people is, you have to plan things out. And also, I don't want to go in and update, like I don't want to put Jelly's card on like all my like accounts and stuff like that, only to then have to replace it with my new card, you know, in a few weeks. Here's the thing. The bank mailed my card to the wrong address, but they mailed the letter telling me my card was going to be late to the correct address. So what's up with that? I feel like the one thing debit card companies should be able to do is print debit cards. Yeah, I don't know. They said there's some kind of problem with their printer, and I'm just gonna have to wait. And I was like, well, you know, wasn't really worth complaining about. I had another solution that we can just, you know, share Jelly's card. So no big deal. Both games are complete in box. Nice. I don't go for a whole lot of like complete games, you know, but I think with RPGs, they have the potential to be more worth it than others because RPGs seem to be like more likely to come with more interesting extras, right? Like sometimes they have little like starter like strategy guides or maps or even like you know, like an art book or something. And even if they don't have those, their manuals in general are at least more substantial with like extra art and stuff inside of them. So even if they don't have it, even if they only have sort of basic stuff, their basic stuff is usually slightly more premium. Both games are about 20 to 25. Paid 14 for Lunar and 4 for Lost Magic. 25%. Nice. You find amazing deals, Rack of Lamb. It's the stuff. I don't know. I wish I lived near your kind of thrift stores, because you seem to always be coming across really cool stuff. Right. I don't think we lost life that time. Very nice. It's not a thrift store, a place called Entertain Mart, also known as Vintage Stock and DVD Exchange. My mistake. Whoa. That snowball. Frightfully close. I don't usually succeed in cutting in front of it like that. Oh no. Where does that snowball come from, huh? There's no snowman over here. This game is bogus. Immersion ruined. Now that I'm thinking about, now that I'm thinking about thrift stores and video games, I'm thinking we very much need another 50 video games included night. It's been it's been far too long. It's been far too long since we've explored that masterpiece. Fish Story kind of broke our streak a little bit. It kind of broke my mind. Oh, I wanted so desperately to beat every game in the collection, but I don't think that one ends. I think that game is perpetual. At least I really hope so, because I made it so far. It has, Cal says. It's been far too long. So maybe next week. Oh yeah, but I said I'm sorry I lied, Sir Lamb, because I was supposed to start up Air Fortress by the end of the month. And that's clearly it's not gonna happen, but the debit card thing is part of why. Usually stop in once a week. I look for... names I look for names I'm not familiar with and look them up. I'll go months without finding anything, then get one good day or week where I find either cheap deals or rare games. The typing gremlins happen to the best of us. Apparently Dinosaur's Tale is based off the animated Steven Spielberg movie We're Back, A Dinosaur Story. I never saw that movie, but I've heard of it. I have heard of that movie as well, Angelus. So yeah, I recognize that title. I don't think I've ever seen it. I might have seen part of it. My sister was She was the one between the two of us that was pretty obsessed with dinosaurs. I always had a very mild interest in dinosaurs at best. But she was really into them. And I'm sure she probably rented that movie. And so I've probably seen part of it with her. Unfortunately, I'd be calling it an early night tonight, Cal says. Tomorrow and possibly Wednesday, my schedule is going to be a bit wonky. I need to be up rather early, unsure if I'll be able to make it to the stream those nights. But I'll try my best to stop in if I can. Well, we'll certainly miss you, Cows. But, of course, you know, take care of what you have to take care of. I wish you the best with your swapped days. I don't take to changes in my daily schedule very well. I hope that's not the case for you. But sleep well, my friend. Thank you for being here tonight. Conga tags in as Cows leaves. Welcome in, Conga. Great to have you here. Welcome to more of the same with Battletoads. And you know, soon some Contra. Probably a bit more of the same with Contra, too. I do expect to make better progress there, but there's certainly going to be a lot of repeating those first few levels as we slowly unfold that game. My day started at 4 a.m., Sarak of Lamb says. I have to stay up late tonight because I work late tomorrow. That's lucky for me. Apologies if it's inconvenient for you, but it's lucky for me. I get to have you here longer. I guess I shouldn't make assumptions. Thankfully, I'm pretty okay at inverting sleep schedules. You do seem to have to travel around quite a bit, and that would, I imagine, make someone well-practiced. Good night, my friend. I'm a night owl anyhow. I think you mean any. Who? I've always been a nighttime creature. To the often to the great annoyance of the rest of my family, who very much are not. I was afraid I'd miss the terrible joke. Ah, come on, I like that one. I'm gonna tell Jelly about that one. I'm proud. It's been my it's been my habit to leave to leave every time Jelly posts a Let's Play video. You know, I post a comment on it for her, and it's been my habit to leave a terrible pun as my comment on all of her videos. But she got me back for the last one. with her reply. She outdid me, so be warned. I'll not hear a better one tonight, Conga says. Nicely done. I'm glad you're here, my friend. You're a real hoot. I have a C64 question for you, Conga, or for anyone else who may be lurking, well versed in the C64. Does anyone know? Does there exist an application to convert .tap files to another format? I did a little bit of poking around, but I didn't see anything about one. And what I saw suggested to me that such an automated program, at least, is unlikely to exist. But I'm frequently wrong. Because it'd be great if I could transfer it to like a cartridge file or a program file, or I mean the TAP files will work, except you gotta wait for the load times. So for playing it on the stream, I mean I'll do it, but everyone, I don't know if I can expect other people to be as patient as I am. Not sure. I can't think of a need for one from an emulation standpoint. Also, poking around is a wonderful C64 programming pun, even if not intended. Yeah, because, well, the C64 Mini, when you load a TAP file, it loads it very slowly. Like, you gotta wait minutes. Like, it's like you're waiting for a real tape to play. And I think it does cut down the time, but I mean, if you haven't spent time with an actual C64 in a while, then, like me, it sure felt to me like, I mean, it was several minutes to load. And that was with the accelerated loading turned on, which I think it might just not affect the TAP files, the accelerated loading feature for the Mini. I don't know. And I kind of don't get the pun. I understand that it is one, because I know that poke is a term, because I think Sparrow taught me that during the Horus playthrough, during one of the C64 bits of Horus. But I don't really know what it means, so yeah, it was an unintended pun. I think it could be done because the data is the same regardless of the means of loading it. I'll have to look around some more then and see what I can find. Someone, one of the comments somewhere that I saw said something about using action replay to do it, but I didn't really understand the thrust of what they were saying. But I didn't invest a ton of time into it. I just spent a little while looking. I like the TAP files because so far they tend to be free of like the cracker intro stuff that you find on most other forms of like C64 program files. Which I don't necessarily mind in and of themselves. Like, in fact, some of them are, like, some of the intro screens and music that they do is in and of itself very interesting. But so far as for games I want to play on the stream, like, one, sometimes they go on for quite a bit, those intro things that they add on there. And I mean, I don't mind, you know, like, I understand, like, the people who go through the effort of making the crack, like, you know, they want their credit, and by all means. But, I mean, be reasonable, please. And the other thing, though, where it becomes a problem for me, is sometimes those messages that they include in their introduction screens are quite rude and disparaging toward other cracking groups, and I don't want that kind of language on my stream. That's where the intros really become problematic for me. I love cracker screens. Well, the last part that I mentioned there is the part where it becomes a big problem for me. I've come across. I mean, it's not like it's most of them or anything, but I've come across a handful that said some things that like were really eyebrow raising. I thought of making a compilation video of them. I'd certainly take a look at it. Almost every game in the collection that we had when I was a kid, they didn't have intro screens on them, but on the title screens, they had they said cracked by FBI and CIA. So whoever had those handles back in the day, thank you. When I was a kid, my dad's coworker had connections to a lot of crackers, and we ended up getting a lot of games that way. Yeah, there's a good chance that whoever cracked the games we had were friends of my dad or friends of his friends. Lucky, the only crackers I had as a kid were saltine and oyster. Oh. I don't remember what they're called. There's like these rectangular crackers that they're kind of like a Ritz cracker. They're real buttery. I don't remember what the brand is. You just had me thinking of them though, and I could go for some of those. Club crackers, yeah. I always like club crackers. They go really well with a piece of cheese on top. I guess most crackers do, though. They're also very salty. I guess a lot of crackers are, though. Whoa. I hardly even remember playing Rat Race an hour ago. I have a cup of ice cream here in front of me, and I've yet to take a bite. It's actually not ice cream. It's actually a milkshake that froze solid into ice cream. But now it's set out for so long, it's become milkshake again. It's good. It's actually good I've let it sit here. It's very, airy. Just trying to get a practice punch or two in there, and didn't really work out. Growing up Jewish, Sir Rackablam says, we had a lot of matzah during Passover. It's a large, very bland, unsalted cracker. I've certainly heard of matzah, but can't say that I've ever tried it. It isn't really a flavor triumph, Conga says. Most things lacking in salt tend to struggle to impress in the flavor category, I'd say. I got so lucky there. I can't believe I didn't get electrocuted. No! I did get juggled by a stationary boss, however. No. One up. He's got to be like a hit away from the grave, right? Yeah, he was. And I lost a life. I was so close to victory and I lost a life. Alright, well, here we go. Get ready to losing lives. Get ready, get used to. Hey, Broseph, welcome in. Good to have you here with us. I hope you're having a wonderful week. This is brutal. It's an endless series of pixel-perfect inputs. And I cannot get the feel for it. I don't know what it's going to take to beat this, but whatever it takes, I'm beginning to fear that I don't have it. Excuse me. I go through very wildly swinging emotions in regard to this level. Sometimes I feel hopeful that, like, you know, that my persistence has to eventually pay off, right? And then other times I just feel so full of despair. A toad should tell that bird to come do it himself. I'm with you, Angelus. It's just so wildly difficult. It's legendarily brutal. Well, I do believe that is the case, Sir Rack of Lamb, from what I understand. There's no recovery. As soon as you make a single error, it's lost. And so frequently I make an error right at the start. And I don't even know how I'm doing it sometimes. It's just... the bike just lags. Surely it can't be this difficult. I think it just really is this difficult. And welcome in, Driftwood. I think part of the trick to it that I'm getting wrong is you really don't want to slide your thumb from input to input, because you never want there to be a time where you're hitting two inputs at once. Oops. You really want to snap your thumb into position, because if you drag across a diagonal, I know that hurts me. I think I need to develop a different way of holding the controller. Ah, it's so brutal. It's so brutal. How long? How long will I be struggling with this? Well, no more tonight. We're finished with Battletoads for tonight, my friends. We had two virtually identical runs. Second run was smoother than the first one. I de-rusted a little bit, I guess. And we're going to play this again on Wednesday. Battletoads will be the second game on Wednesday night. It'll be in the later half of the stream. But we're going to switch over to Contra for the rest of the night. Contra Hardcore on Genesis. I played a little bit of it last week. It's a first playthrough, ongoing. I played through a couple stages. First impressions, I think I'm going to end up really loving Hardcore. I definitely need to spend more time with it. before I, develop any strong feelings about it one way or another. But it's got a lot of, it seems to have a lot of potential to it. So we're going to play that for the rest of the night. Wednesday night, we're actually doing the same games, but I'm going to do them in reverse order. Because the second game has, provided I have enough strength and energy, the second game has potential to have, like, the bigger chunk of time. So the plan was to try and give Contra the bigger chunk of time tonight, and Battletoads the bigger chunk on Wednesday. So there may be more than just, ideally there'll be more than just 2 runs. But I can't really speak for what future Frownie is going to feel like outside of, the basics of what we're going to do. I challenge the makers of this game to beat this stage. I mean, I've heard that supposedly that's why this stage is so difficult, was because one of the guys that worked on it was so good at it. I mean, you're getting here like third or fourth hand information, so just make of it what you will. But supposedly, yeah, one of the guys who worked on the game was ridiculously good at this level, and so it became ridiculously hard because of his influence. If that's the case, I don't know that I like that guy very much. He's caused me a lot of pain. Alright, so short break. I'm going to take a very quick BRB, my friends. Thank you for sticking with me through Battletoads. It is a long, difficult journey. It's a fun game. I really don't like Stage 11. It's really wearing on me how long I've been stuck on the stage. But the rest of it remains a good time. And I appreciate your patience as I struggle my way to victory at this one. And speaking of struggling my way to victory, that's what we'll do next. I'll see you very shortly.